Rosemary, it's new, used, and used. How do you pronounce it?
Well, it's not in the dictionary. It's one of my words. It's newsed, like
Used.
new.
Okay.
It's like new and used combined. See?
Used. I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's one of my words since college. I'd be like, hey, I got a new car, a used car. You know?
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Rosemary, welcome to Reston Digs. It is
Thank
a pleasure to have you on Reston Digs. We're going through this coronavirus lockdown. This is like a historic moment for Reston Digs, for all of our businesses. It's crazy. And so we're here to support small business and get your message out to the world, get your business out to the world through social media. And it's an honor to have you on Reston Digs. Thanks so much for joining us, Rosemary.
I thank you. Really, thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kim, for offering this to me. So I can't express how grateful I am, really.
No,
so
this is we're a tribe of business people, entrepreneurs, right? So
yes, right.
How we do it. So the way I always like to start off is so that people learn a little bit about the story, your story, right? You know, I was online and I read that this was birthed out of fire, right?
Yes.
This business was birthed out of fire, like a phoenix, maybe kind of like what we're going through now, right?
Yeah, kind of.
And so tell me a little bit about you, because I heard something. Where are you from originally?
Do you hear something in my voice? No, I'm actually from Northern Virginia.
Are you? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
But
cool.
Every summer of my life, growing up, my parents would ship me up to my cousins in either like Northern Jersey or to Manhasset. So
there you go.
Do you hear a little New York underlining it?
I heard a little bit.
Yeah.
It's funny because I consider myself from Northern Virginia, but my dad was in the government, and so I traveled all the time. But I remember everybody would always say, "Where are you from? Are you from Jersey?" I'm like, "No, I've never even been to Jersey. I'm not from Jersey."
I would guess I could hear it in you too. So yeah,
I think it's just because I'm an excitable kind of person sometimes. So
yeah, I can relate.
Tell me a little bit about your business. You started this in 2011. Tell us the story of how you started it, and then explain to people like me a little bit about consignment. Right? I don't know that much about it.
All right.
So let's start with the story first.
So in my previous life, as I like to refer to it, I was in wholesale mortgage lending for a very long time. And we all know like that industry tanked, and I stuck it out for as long as I could. And eventually I ended up, anyway, I'm from mortgage lending background. Anyway, 2011 was just, I almost called the store Lemonade because a whole bunch of lemons were thrown my way. I was laid off from a job that I had just kind of like made my way into. It was reverse sales, like acquisitions. That was in February. I became number one with that company, by the way. In March, I became number one rookie. And then March, I got laid off. In April, we had a tornado came right down my street. And we lost 33 trees in our little neighborhood of 6 homes. My house got hit. And exactly a week later, on May 5th, 2011, Cinco de Mayo, the house caught fire. And it was condemned. And so I found myself homeless and unemployed, but I had insurance. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I got to spend the next few months with my best friend She's got a place at the beach. I always wanted to stay at the beach. So Sonia and I were in Ocean City, and every morning we'd wake up like, what am I going to do with my life? What am I going to do with my life? And couldn't figure it out. Ended up back in, it was August, ended up back in Reston in a fully furnished rental, and they delivered a van full of my items.
Mm.
I sat on the floor and I'm like, keep, donate, consign, keep, donate, consign. And then next thing you know, my consignment pile was growing. And I'm like, light bulb, I'm going to open up my own consignment shop. And that's what I did. I no business plan, nothing, but I'm like, I'll take the money instead of replacing my clothes and things. And I opened my own. Anyway.
No business plan, no way. I'm just going to do it, right? Like,
No,
which is
seriously.
what I love. Yeah.
Seriously, it's like, if anybody knows how to shop and buy, that would be me. My mom was like, you finally found something. Is this your calling? But anyway, so since I made that decision, I was just put on like a little sheet of paper. It's like, find a space, find a space. And one day, Grace, my daughter, who was 7 at the time, came home. I'm like, come on, we're going to go find a space for my business. What the heck are you talking about, Mom? And I literally drove right here.
Oh, wow.
And next door, not this space here. It was next door. It was a little 1,500 square foot space, and there was a for rent sign in the window. And I sat in my car and I called, and come to find out, he had just put that sign up the day before. So all those days, like, I was bypassing the things to do, look for a space. It was just, and the whole rest of the path kind of was guided for me. And that's why, so I signed my lease. It was October, 15th. And I built out, and I wanted to open on 11/11/11. Just it's a good
Lucky
day.
11s. I like it.
Yeah, right. So anyway, I opened 11/11/11 with nothing but an idea and a whole lot of experience shopping. And I've been doing consignment since I was a kid, so I really believe in it. And anyway, here I am 8.5 years later.
So you moved into this larger space. I mean, this space looks really big. I'm looking at it. It's awesome.
So 3 years, I was there for 3 years, and then I moved here. And this is the space now, but it's like 2,800 square feet now. But
okay,
yeah, this is where I am. This is my second home.
That's very cool. I've passed your place a ton of times. I'm not a big shopper, right? So I never stopped in. Although it sounds like my wife has, right?
Yeah.
And but for the longest time, I remember looking at wanting to get space in this little area, because our daughter went to HK Lee for years and years and years, and I would go through. This was kind of like the cut through, and I always thought of maybe setting up, buying one of the buildings there and having our real estate office there, right? I just always liked the vibe there for some reason, right? It was just a cool vibe, right? So I like that spot. So I seem to always be drawn to it for whatever reason. So if you see a space that comes available there, let me know.
I'll let you know.
Let me know.
Well, it's kind of like a little industrial on the outside. It's not like a strip mall with walking, but we have a lot of, the reason I picked this was there was the gymnastic studio next door. There's the dance studio across the street, karate, like you said, the karate place. There was another Krav place there. And I'm like, a great place for moms dropping off their kids every week, a couple times a week. How many times can you go to Target in a week, right? So I'm like, it'll give them something to do. And that's why, but we've got a nice combination of all kinds of family-owned businesses just right here. So it's a really cool place.
Well, even though you didn't have a business plan, that sounds very thought out, right? Like I wouldn't have thought about that. That's right. Like moms and dads need something to do, right? While they've got the kids there waiting at gymnastics and the dance. I know the dance was up the road a little bit. So tell me a little bit about consignment. I have no idea how consignment works. How does it work?
So consignment, how we work, we are a seasonal shop. Basically, you or anybody would bring to me their clothes or accessories that they're no longer using or they no longer want. We price it typically about a third of retail, and then when it sells, then you earn money. I pay you out after it sells. So, I mean, you could, if you wanted to, do it online, but there are headaches with that, and then, you know, do you trust who you're selling to
Yeah.
online? And I've had bad experiences online. So this is an outlet. It's an easy way to just drop off and let me take care of everything for you, and then you can collect some money in the end, you know?
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see once this clears out a little bit, we get this corona thing out. I'm almost wondering if you'll start seeing more people do consignment, because there's going to be a lot of people impacted financially by all of this, right?
Right.
There's massive job losses going on right now, and people need a little extra cash, and
Mm-hmm.
it's sitting in their closets, and they haven't worn them in 5 years, right?
Right. And that's the whole thing. I mean, it's like, I don't know, as far as me, I've been consigning since I was a kid, and my mom would take me, you know, like really by the hand, and we'd go to a treasure trove in McLean, and you would take a few items, and I think it was like 7 at the time, and the women would just write down the little tags. So to me, consignment was always fun shopping. You never know what you find.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, in looking around the store, and we've got, and we're really picky as far
Okay.
as, I don't think you can really tell that they're used items. And a lot of my customers say that. And we like to say it's from fun to fine. We have things with no tags on it, all the way to like designer, like high-end designer items. So it's all across the board, and it helps people because, like, when it comes to certain things, if you don't wear it, we get a lot of things with tags on it, like they've never been
Mm-hmm.
worn.
Mm-hmm.
Girls do that sometimes. Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I know. I know.
Oh,
I'll,
oh yeah.
I'll pull out a bag and I'm like, tags on this thing.
I know. So
It's,
girls do that. I know I have. So anyway, um, it's really fun because you get a little bit of the whole mall all in one place.
so purses,
Yeah.
like wallets, jackets, like.
Yeah. So like everything from designer, like this is like Louis Vuitton stuff,
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
I mean, to like fun stuff with, just whatever you would wear. I mean, we have leisure wear. I mean, everything. Purses. It's clothing and accessories. The jewelry I have in the store is the new part of the news name. Like,
Okay.
so, because jewelry sometimes, I used to have consigned jewelry, and we will do consignment on jewelry if we can put it away in the showcase. Because unfortunately, jewelry is easy to put in your pocket or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like people taking from my consigners, So
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. Anyway, as I walk around and I put things back in place.
So I know that and this is just a different thing. All businesses are kind of pivoting right now with everything that's going on with Corona.
Mm-hmm.
And are you doing any Facebook Live? Are you doing anything I mean, we're going to do this, right? So this is cool, and we're going to push this out. But are there any things that you guys doing, and what message would you want the Reston, Herndon, and surrounding areas to know about you guys and what you're doing right now?
Okay, so what we're doing, I've never done Facebook Live, but we post on Facebook and we do on Instagram.
Okay.
We do sell online certain outlets like with Poshmark and Lapri and I think Mercari, but we're really trying to push that. At the beginning of the year, totally unrelated to Corona or anything, my goal was like my second location to really build up my online store, like online presence. So
Got it.
Lisa and I were just talking today that though Corona, not by choice, I mean, it's really giving us an opportunity to really build our online presence. We're offering curbside pickup. We're offering free delivery within 5 miles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just little things. You know, my daughter with DoorDash, so it was kind of like her idea to do that. You know, why can't we do that? Okay, great idea. No tipping required because it's my daughter.
You know, what I love about what you said is that, you know, you do have to find the opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is always opportunity in a shift. And it's the entrepreneur that thinks about that says, how can I do this? And so it's in times like these that you turn those lemons into lemonade, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't get hunkered down and afraid. I mean, there's always a certain level of fear when things like this happen, but you have to keep that creative mind, and you got to keep moving, and you got to move it forward.
Right. There was a book a long time, it's a sales book, Who Moved the Cheese or something like that.
Yeah, Who Moved My Cheese?
Right. So it's like you gotta constantly look for ways. It's not easy, but if I just sit and wait for it to be, you know, just be the same and wait for it all to pass, I don't know if anybody would survive. So
100%.
yeah. So I know we are supporting all our neighbors. We're supporting each other. We've always been about that. But I do have to figure out new ways. I'm open for ideas.
Cool.
We also thought, yeah, I mean, the thing is the governor said 10 people or less in a store, even in any type of brick and mortar, even if it's what's non-essential. You know what? Right now, you got me and Lisa. By the way, let me say hi, Lisa. Can she?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Lisa.
Hi,
Hey, Lisa.
how are you?
Good. I'm glad we finally got the tech like completely worked out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it took us a few minutes, but we're good.
Hey,
We get it. We get it.
Oh, and you know who else I want you to meet?
Who's that?
Hold on. Hewey. Come here, boy. Have you ever met Hewey?
No. Oh, hey, Hewey.
And Huey's at the store with us all the time. He's a gentle giant. This is Hewey. He's an English Mastiff.
Oh, wow. How heavy is Hewey?
He's about 150.
Oh, wow. Okay.
150 pounds of love.
Well, hey, Rosemary, I appreciate you coming on Reston Digs and telling us a little bit about your story, right? And telling us, hey, Lisa, I really appreciate you guys like jumping on, being creative, and doing this through Zoom. This could be a new way to talk to customers and show customers new items that come online. Thanks so much for being part of Reston Digs. I appreciate you. And
Thank you.
And go out and innovate during this time. Innovate.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. See you.
Take care.